Hello guys, welcome back. Sethona here. This is the Daily Grind. This is Saint Seiya Awakening. And today we have a special feature on how to build your characters to overcome certain restrictions or shortcomings that they might have. Um, for example, I have seen many people pass over several characters just because they have a very low proc rate for their skills. For example, Perseus Algol, the Knight of the Medusa. Well, if you go to his skills and you check his only active that costs energy, not his basic, the Medusa Punch, which actual name is the Gorgonian Demon Head, the Ra's al Ghul Gorgonio. This is an attack that releases 3 magic snakes to perform random attacks, blah blah blah. It deals 145% Cosmo damage that you have. It has an 8% chance plus status hit to petrify the target for 1 action round. This, when you have the maximum skill level, that's 13% plus status hit to petrify an opponent. And that looks pretty low. But if you come here and you check the kind of cosmos that you have to equip on Algol, which by the way I'm gonna check is if this one is actually better. No, it's not better than mine. Several of the cosmos that he has available increase that status hit. So his current, well, for mine anyways, his current status hit is 24.19% plus 8%. That's a 32 chance of petrifying an opponent, but each snake has a separate roll. But if I keep increasing this, I think each one of these reaches around 13% when upgraded to rank 10. So when you have all 6, the arrowheads and the letters, just from the bonus they give, you get around 50% in total. Just from those. So if you add that 50% on top of the 13% at maximum skill level, you have a 63%, but you can go even higher than that. Because when you keep upgrading your cosmos, for example, this Eagle Eye has a substat of status hit, then you can come here and on this screen from the cosmos grid, you click on the cosmos you want to increase, you click on upgrade, you click on refine, and you're going to be using those green gems embedded in a silver something, in a silver casing. You can use that one at a time like this to increase that amount a bit more. This is not automatic, it can go down, it can stay the same. When it's green, it's up, it's going up and up and up. Or if it's red, it means that it has gone down. The higher you want to bring the attribute, the tougher it's going to be, the more tries it's going to take. A status hit usually tops around when it's an SS rank cosmos, a double S rank cosmos. It usually tops out because that affects the amount of refining that you can do to a substat. The rank of the cosmos determines just how much of a bonus are you going to get from substats. So I think it tops out at 4 or 5%. I have never reached the top end of a status hit. But you can have many. You have 10 slots for Cosmos. So just one single substat on every Cosmos, because Legendary Cosmos can get status hit substats, and every other Cosmos You can know until you upgrade the Cosmos, actually. Let me see if I have one with more than, oh, for example, this one, I upgraded this 5 times and it gave me PDF, physical defense, and physical critical level on top of the status resistance. So I still have 5 more levels to upgrade this and see if the status are going to work for me. Just in case this particular Cosmos doesn't work for a goal in the end, I can exchange this one to another character that benefits from a status hit. Like for example, Whale Moses could use this particular combo because it has physical critical level. And he kind of needs that. So well, since you have 10 slots, imagine that you get one status hit on, this is what I have been working on, for example. I have 2 status hit here. So if I max that, if you get one on every Cosmos and you max that out, that's a 50% increase just from substats. On top of the other 50% you get from his actual Cosmos, because you need arrowheads. Seiya means arrowhead in Japanese. That's why the hero of the series is called Seiya. If you max this, which is the Cosmos assigned to Algol, and you equip the letters, but I don't know what kind of flower this is. Well, but whatever, that's the name the game gives that. You get another 50%, so you are already over 100% chance to proc your skills. Algol is a very dangerous character when properly built. That's one of the reasons he keeps being meta in the Chinese version. He's very rarely used anymore because of energy concerns, not just because he's, or not because he's useless or he doesn't work, because he has his uses aggressively. But for example, if you build the exact same Cosmos, just exchange the magical ones for physical, Whale Moses is better in some respects because any attack from Whale Moses can trigger the stun, and the stun is also unpurgeable. And if you use his actual active skill with Whale Moses, that's 1 point of energy versus 2 that Algol uses. I have both, by the way. And this time around, I'm building both of them up. So for example, let me increase just 1 level on this, because it also gives a stat resist. Oh, this one, lifesteal. Lifesteal is very, very cool. I used to call it leech. So you can, whenever you get a Cosmos on anybody and it has leech, try to maximize that. It tops out at 4%. So that's also a good substat to have, especially in characters that are prone to losing health while attacking, like for example Firebird Icky. If you can slot a single leech on every Cosmos, then he's pretty much set, because he's with his damage, with the amount of damage he can do in a single round, he can offset whatever life he loses from his main attack. Okay, so 2%. For example, leech, a single leech is not going to change your character a whole lot. Yeah, because it's 2%. For example, this one is just 2% of whatever damage you do. So if you do 1000 damage, that's just a 20 health that you're getting back. So that's not worth it. But if you equip 2% leech on all 10 Cosmos, that's 20%. So that would be 200 HP that you will get back for every 1000 points of damage that you do. So, for example, guys like Aiolos that can go above 10,000 damage on a single strike, he will be making back uh, 2,000 points of life, for example. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna keep increasing that. So I did just a very minor increases, and now my status hit went from 24% before the upgrades to 27 already. So he has now a 35% chance to petrify using um, his snakes. And I have a couple of rounds from Galactic Duel today. I'm gonna run you the replays. I'm gonna run some replays. So okay. Oh, that loss was nasty. These four in a row. Any of these, but I mostly keep the same team always on. So let's check this out. Here a guy forced me to go without Kiki because he banned Kiki, and then I just kind of liked how this team is playing out. And by the way, my Saga there is mostly to draw fire away from Athena, because people tend to freak out when they see a Saga, especially a level 71 like mine, and I kind of let him die half the time. I want you to keep your eyes open, because there are going to be many stones and petrifies in these replays that I'm going to be presenting you today. And I want you to keep in mind this was with the unupgraded alcohol. This was just a very long run, and also that's what keeps Athena going in the meta. Athena increases the resistance to all status effects for your team, and she can clear purges. And one of the reasons you don't see the freeze boys anymore in the Chinese version, I don't know if you checked that out, but just watch Saga, because I'm gonna be cleansing him a lot in this particular fight, because he gets frozen over and over. Athena can actually remove all the stacks of icicle and the frozen status and the slowdowns at 1 point of energy cost. So yeah, Saga bought it, doesn't matter. He's already down. Also, don't get afraid of Taurus. That's Whale Moses completely dominating and breaking the Great Horn with his Cetacean Atomic Bomber. That's the actual name. Yeah, I'm not making this up. That's the actual name of his attack. It's Katos, which means cetaceous or from the whale-like. Or there's a petrification right there. Katos Atomic Bomber. That's the name of the waves. That one. And as you can see, the snakes on Algol are no joke when they all land on the same energy. That's completely random. But when you're down to 3 guys on the opposing side or 2 guys on the opposing side, one of the 2 is going to get 2 snakes on his face. And by the way, that's a separate roll for every snake. So I hit this one. So let's go check Shadow Flame. And I kind of like that team, and I'm running with it right now. So what I'm debating is whether or not bring Doko to level 80 because that's my next project, or Mu, not Saga. There will be a time for the resurgence of Evil Saga. That's a rank 6 Aiolos, by the way. He's not as scary as they build him up to be. You just need a very chunky with high defense character to stand his ground. And that's a petrification. That's a gold passive. He got hit, and that's a Doko that's automatically out of the fight for the next round. So now I'm going to focus on Aiolos, and that's 3 guys for control that I have. One is completely random, but Skilla inherits the status hit that Io has. The monster has all the stats that Io has, and at least on damage, it has a very different multiplier. That's why it hits so hard. But as you can see, I have 3 options for control. And there goes another petrification. And thanks to all those AoEs, I got a very, very nasty case. That's Whale Moses sneaking a stone on Aiolos. And like I said before, and people get angry when I tell them, well, Aiolos is not that good. It's 4 energy for a single target attack that weakens your entire team on physical strike. That guy gave up already because he knew that he was just going to get rammed in the next round. Like Saga still sees some play in the Chinese version because it's 3 energy, but it's AoE. And Doko, even though it's also 4 energies, he at least has a way of turning his single target attack, well, his semi AoE, because sometimes it's an AoE, sometimes it's a single target. If you get a tiger mark on an enemy, it's a single target. And if you gather the 4 tiger souls around him, that's a double damage on a single target. And if they have the tiger mark that he does with the trident, then they get an additional exploding damage done to them. And if they die, then the remaining dragons go and spread themselves towards the enemy team. So he's more varied. He's not a single a one-trick pony like Aiolos is. So let me see if I can remember how this went, because also, yeah, he's dangerous. He can bring one character down. But once I keep building my whale and my Perseus, Algol, Aiolos is no trouble because he has very, very crappy stats for resistance, and he is very, very squishy. He actually has very little physical defense. Like, he has the strongest single target physical attack strike in the game, but he also has one of the crappiest defenses, and there you go. And once he is down, if you center your entire strategy around Aiolos killing somebody each round, and he gets controlled, then you're just out of luck. I have more trouble dealing with this double whammy threat that was I can get my guys frozen, and then they're going to get smothered with flowers. But as you can see, my stunning guys, because they stun, and stun is not purgeable, they kept everything in control. Not that this lineup is invincible, because no lineup is invincible. Everything depends on how you build your characters and what their Cosmos upgrades are. So I'm gonna run the last the last fight that I did today, because I lost this one, and this one was very difficult because it doesn't matter that Aiolos steals energy from everybody else, physical damage. This guy understands Aiolos. You have to surround Aiolos with high physical power attack characters. So there's Sagittarius Seiya and Capricorn Shura. And that ensures that Aiolos is going to kill somebody on round one, because there's just no way around it. And this is what compelled me to keep upgrading my guys, because I missed a lot of stones versus Aiolos. Like, you have to be able to stun him from round one. Like, you have to bring that status hit to around 60-70%. Because that's what he does. And this is something many people neglect to do. Bring Sean to control the guy that is controlling your own guys. Because this particular opponent tied my Mu for 2 rounds and just kept decimating my own guys. Like, at that point, when he tied up Mu, that was the game right there. And if I don't have Sean built, that's because I got more Cosmos for Algol than I did for Sean. But I would have chosen Sean over Algol, because Sean is almost a sure thing, while Algol still has some kind of randomness, because you don't choose who the snakes are going to attack. You just click on somebody and hope that the snakes are going to go after him. But you can control that, unless it's 3 enemies or less. So there's that. That's one way to improve your chances of proccing your skills. A status hit, you have to keep an eye for abilities that read like that. Like, for example, here on Skilla, if you read the actual description of Skilla, oh, no. Ah, here it is. Every beast power, this is his passive. Every beast power has a 25% chance of being triggered. You cannot alter this. Every beast that Skilla Io has in his repertoire has a 25% chance of happening. Once you have all the beasts unlocked, that's 6 rolls that are going to happen on the same round after Io either attacks or fails to attack. But there is this one. Oh, where it is? Oh, if you trigger the giant bear paw, you have to bring your passive to level 3 so you can trigger the 5th power, the giant bear's paw. That's a strike that deals 30% physical damage from the stats of Io and stuns the target for 1 action round. I want to maximize this because it gives you way more options. It's still very random, but the stunning happens with your status hit for Io. That's something that's missing here in this description. The ability for the bear claw to stun is tied to whatever Io has as his status hit, so you have to work on that too. But for example, Sean is pretty beastly because his angled chain has an 80% chance plus a status hit to restrict the target for 2 action rounds. And this restriction is not purgeable. You cannot clear it unless you kill Sean. And Sean is one of the tankiest guys in the game, one of the biggest health bars, even if it doesn't look like it when you unlock him at rank 2. But he has one of the deepest HP pools in the game. Maybe only Mu has more HP than Sean. And his physical defense is ranked A, but his progression is also very, very beastly. So you have that, for example, that's 80% plus 5 I already have here in my stats, and that's an 85% chance to actually tie someone up. So all I have to do is get a couple of Cosmos over here that have a status hit like this and just increase them so I get over 100%, and then it's a done deal. Every round that you attack with his chain, he's going to tie someone up. This also works for Cygnus Yoga, the Knight of the Swan. I think it's with this one. 65% plus a status hit to inflict one stack of Ice Seal on the energy, and that goes up to 80% plus a status hit. So he will always be stacking icicles on the other guys. But also his passive he has 70 up to 80% also on his passive when you maximize this skill. Plus a status hit to freeze the target for one action round. And each icicle also gives you an 8% freeze rate bonus on top of whatever status hit you have for Hyoga. That's why characters don't look like much when you get them fresh and you have all their skills at level 1 and you have your Cosmos set up like this, like A's and B's and everything is +1, and oh god, if I increase one single upgrade, instead of 1.39 it's going to be 1.60. Yeah, but consider that you can get multiples of the same stat on different Cosmos. I think I have a couple here. Some upgrades that no longer work. Like I worked on this, but it's not getting extra. Is not getting extra substats. You can get anything on any Cosmos. Like here's basically New Moon is a speed Cosmos with defense, but this one has Cosmo damage. I know what Saga is gonna get for his birthday. Yeah, I think it's on the other account that I had repeats of status hit. But you can get them even in the legendary Cosmos. Or maybe I already have them on Whale. So let's go check Moses. This is Life Steal. Status Resistance. Physical attack and life. Oh, like this. This is a repeat. That's a status hit on the arrowhead that also has a status hit substat, and you can get even doubles or triples. And I have seen guys not with a status hit but with other substats. When that's endgame, you're going to reach a point where all you get are repeats of the same Cosmos and you upgrade them +10 and see if they give you 4 repeats of whatever stat you're looking for. And if they don't give you that, then you just throw them away because they don't work for you. So for example, a perfect Moses Cosmos, will be a double S arrowhead that had 3 or 4 status hit substats in a single Cosmos, because that's easier to rank up. Instead of ranking 10 different Cosmos, you just rank one, and that would be at 4%, 4 times 16%, 30% status hit on a single Cosmos. So that's a lot. That's a lot. I have to keep increasing this one too. So that's one way to improve your characters if you are dismissing certain characters because they don't seem to proc very often what you like or what you want. There it is. This decelerator that gives him speed and also gives him status hit. And as you can see, that's almost full, and it's already at 3.23%. So that's how you build your characters. There's not only whatever the game suggests you to equip, but you have to look for the substats on the Cosmos. And the substats you only get by leveling the Cosmos up. And you find out, the only way to find out is level 1 Cosmos to +10, because sometimes you upgrade them to +2 and they give you 2 substats, 2 extra substats. And sometimes you bring them to +10 and they just give you a single extra substat. And there's no way to know beforehand. There's nothing setting each Cosmos away. It doesn't even matter what the first substat is. You can have, for example, an arrow with healing that is going to give you physical strike or physical critical in all the substats. But what you have to look for, well, status hit is always given as a percentage. But the other Cosmos, if you're going to look for stuff for HP, for physical attack, for Cosmo damage or Cosmo attack, look for percentages, not flat units. Because a Cosmos is going to give you maybe 200% HP if you get a plain number. Like I have something here like this. This physical attack is going to give me maybe 40 points of physical attack. For the amount of physical attack that Moses has, that's the exact same amount if I get an increase of 1.5%. So there you go. That's how you improve your characters beyond their initial status, their initial ability scores and stuff like that. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Remember to subscribe, leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel, click on the little bell so you get a notification when I update new material. And I'm already finishing with all the showcases that I owe you. So I'm gonna start uploading them tomorrow night, and they are all going to be surprises because just to be fair, I'm gonna take one of the more requested videos first and one of characters that not many people are interested in, but that I have found compelling, or they are still meta in the Chinese version, even if people are not using them here, and why they are still meta. So this was Sethornan for the Daily Grind. We'll see each other next time, and remember, keep grinding on.